Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Wake up. IT's time to change your life. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to shake you, wake you, and remind you of something you've been ignoring for far too long, your own power. See, a lot of people go through life sleepwalking. They wake up, but they're not awake. They breathe, but they're not alive. They've got dreams, but they treat those dreams like distant cousins they only see on holidays. And I'm here today to tell you that stops now. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break something down for you in a way that hits home, because this right here is the truth a lot of people refuse to look at. Your life does not change because you get lucky. Your life does not change because someone finally notices you. Your life does not change because the stars line up perfectly. Your life changes the moment you stand up, look at yourself in the mirror, and say, I'm done making excuses. And until that moment comes, nothing in your world is going to shift. See, excuses are comfortable. Excuses let you stay exactly where you are without feeling guilty. Excuses let you blame everything and everyone around you for why you're not where you want to be. It's the job. It's the family. It's the stress. It's the past. It's the fear. It's the timing. But let me tell you something, and I need you to hear me straight. Every excuse you make is a brick you lay in the wall that blocks your destiny. Everybody wants success, but most people want it on their own terms. They want success without sacrifice, blessings without effort, elevation without work, and breakthroughs without change. But that's not how life works. God did not design this journey to reward excuses. He designed it to reward effort, action, and faith. You can pray all day long, but if you're praying with excuses still living in your heart, you're not praying for change. You're praying for comfort. And comfort is the enemy of growth. There comes a moment in every person's life where you have to decide whether you're going to keep telling the same story or start writing a new one. And that decision doesn't require money, education, support, or a perfect plan. It just requires honesty. Raw, uncomfortable, truthful honesty. You have to stand there and admit to yourself that you are capable of more than you're doing. You are stronger than the fears you let control you. You are bigger than the excuses you keep repeating. But here's the part that stings. You also have to admit that those excuses have been holding you back, and you allowed it. See, people love blaming circumstances, but circumstances don't determine destiny. Decisions do. You can be tired, broke, hurt, confused, stressed, overwhelmed, or scared, and still decide to rise. You can be facing a mountain and still take the first step. You can be surrounded by doubt and still choose to believe in yourself. The moment you stop waiting for life to get easier and start taking responsibility for where you're headed, that's the moment your life begins to transform. Excuses are thieves. They steal your time, steal your energy, steal your confidence, and steal your future. And the worst part about excuses is that they sound good. They sound reasonable. They sound fair. I'll start when I have more money. I'll try when things settle down. I'll focus when the timing is right. I would chase my dream, but I have too much going on. Listen to me. The timing will never be perfect. The money might not show up. The people who support you might not support you. The path may never look clear. But success doesn't come to the person who has everything ready. It comes to the person who gets started anyway. Life is going to test you. The moment you decide to change, the moment you decide to level up, the moment you decide to stop making excuses, that's the moment life will push back. You'll face resistance, setbacks, fear, and doubt. And that is exactly why most people stay where they are. Excuses offer protection. They protect your ego. They protect your comfort zone. They protect you from trying and failing. But you know what else they do? They also protect you from rising. They protect you from discovering what you're truly capable of. They protect you from the blessings that come with hard work, growth, and transformation. Every person you admire, every success story you read, every champion you see, none of them got where they are by making excuses. They didn't wake up motivated every day. They didn't have everything figured out. They didn't have a perfect past. They just made a decision. I'm doing this and nothing is going to stop me, not even me. That's what separates dreamers from doers. Dreamers wait. Doers decide. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you take back control of your life. Suddenly you stop focusing on what you can't do and start focusing on what you can do. You stop looking at what's missing and start looking at what's possible. You stop depending on people to save you and start depending on your own discipline. You stop blaming your past and start building your future. You stop saying I can't and start saying I will. Now, let me tell you something personal, something real. Your excuses will talk to you every day. They will whisper. They will comfort you. They will convince you to stay exactly where you are. But your potential? Oh, your potential will keep calling your name. And the question is, whose voice are you going to listen to? You have dreams because you're meant to chase them. You have talent because you're meant to use it. You have a purpose because you're meant to live it. But none of that matters if excuses stay in the driver's seat. You want to change your life? Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop pretending you need more time. Stop telling yourself stories that keep you small. Make a decision, a bold decision, a decision that says, I'm done standing still. Because once you stop making excuses, your mind changes, your actions change, your circle changes, your habits change, and eventually your entire life changes. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something powerful, something life-changing, something that if you truly understand it, will shift the entire direction of your life. Everything you need to win, everything you need to elevate, everything you need to break through is already inside you. Your gifts, your talents, your ideas, your abilities, your greatness, none of it is missing. None of it is outside of you. None of it is waiting to be found somewhere in the world. It's already there. It's already planted. It's already a part of your DNA. The problem is most people let those gifts sleep. They let their talents hide. They let their purpose whisper instead of roar. And they go through life thinking they need more, thinking they need something external, thinking they need somebody else to give them permission to be who they were created to be. You've got to understand that God didn't make a mistake when he made you. He put something in you that only you have. Your gift is not your job. Your gift is not your degree. Your gift is not your bank account. Your gift is that thing you do effortlessly, naturally, instinctively. Something that doesn't drain you but fills you. Something that lights you up. Something that when you use it, you feel aligned, you feel alive. But most people never tap into it because they're too busy surviving instead of living. They're too busy trying to fit in instead of standing out. They're too busy imitating others instead of awakening what's already within. Your gift does not show up when life is easy. Your gift reveals itself when life gets real. When you're tested, when you're pressured, when you're pushed. Diamonds form under pressure. Seeds grow in the dark. Purpose reveals itself in the struggle. Every challenge you've been through has been shaping you, molding you, sharpening you, preparing you. But instead of seeing pressure as preparation, most people see it as punishment. They miss the beauty in the difficulty. They miss the growth that comes with adversity. They miss the lesson that says everything you need is already inside. Now wake it up. Let me ask you something. How long are you going to keep sleeping on yourself? How long are you going to keep hiding your brilliance because you're afraid someone won't approve? How long are you going to dim your light because you're worried someone might feel uncomfortable? How long are you going to bury your talent because you don't think you're ready? Listen to me. You will never feel ready. Nobody who made history felt ready. They felt called. They felt pushed. They felt pulled. They felt something deep inside them say, this is who I am. And they acted on it. You cannot discover your gift if you keep living on autopilot. You cannot activate your purpose if you keep ignoring the ideas that spark inside you. You cannot wake up your talent if you keep telling yourself you're ordinary. You are not ordinary. Nothing about you is accidental. Nothing about your life is random. You were designed with intention. You were equipped with purpose, and you were born with a gift that somebody in this world needs. But here's the truth. Your gift will stay asleep until you decide to wake it up. You've got to use it. You've got to stretch it. You've got to develop it. You've got to invest in it. You've got to trust it. People spend years searching for purpose when their purpose is already living inside them. Your purpose is connected to your gift. What you do well is what you were meant to lean into. What flows from you is what God put in you. And when you use that gift, doors open, opportunities show up, resources appear, people support you, not because of luck, but because you finally align with who you were born to be. But here's the thing most people don't want to admit. Awakening your gift comes with discomfort. Growth is uncomfortable. Using your talent in ways you've never used it before is uncomfortable. Stepping into your purpose is uncomfortable. But so is staying stuck. So is living below your potential. So is pretending you don't feel that calling inside you. You know exactly what I'm talking about, that tug, that whisper, that feeling that says, there's more for you. That's not your imagination. That's your purpose trying to wake up. That's your gift knocking on the door of your life saying, let me out. You don't need someone to discover you. You don't need someone to validate you. You don't need someone to give you permission. You don't need someone to co-sign your destiny. You are already enough. You already have what it takes. The world doesn't give you your purpose. God does. And people can doubt you all they want, but they cannot stop what God put inside you. The only person who can stop that is you. When you start using your gift, your life changes. Your confidence grows, your mindset expands, your direction becomes clearer, your energy becomes stronger, decisions become easier. Why? Because you're no longer guessing who you are, you know who you are. And when a person knows who they are, they become unstoppable. Wake up your gift. Wake up your creativity. Wake up your passion. Wake up your discipline. Wake up your potential. Because I promise you this, the world has seen enough of who you pretend to be. It's time they meet who you truly are. And that person is powerful. That person is gifted. That person is chosen. That person is capable of changing their whole life. And it all begins the moment you stop waiting and start awakening what's already inside you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. A lot of people don't want to hear, but everybody needs to hear. Discipline and consistency will take you places motivation never will. Motivation is a feeling. It comes, it goes, it fades, it changes. One day you wake up fired up, ready to change your life, ready to chase your dream, ready to break every limit in your path. And the next day, you wake up tired. You wake up overwhelmed. You wake up with that voice in your head saying, let's start tomorrow. But the people who win in life, the people who rise, the people who will accomplish something worth talking about, they don't depend on motivation. They depend on discipline. They depend on consistency. They depend on showing up even when they don't feel like it. Everybody wants the results, but very few people want the responsibility that comes with the results. That responsibility is discipline. You can be talented, you can be gifted, you can be blessed, but if you're not disciplined, if you're not consistent, you will always fall short of the life you were meant to have. See, talent gives you a head start, but discipline carries you to the finish line. Motivation gets you excited, but consistency builds the habits that shape your destiny. Let me be real with you. Your life is not going to change because you felt good one day. Your life changes because you made a decision and then you honored that decision every single day, even when it was inconvenient. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you said it in has left you. That is where greatness is built. That is where strength is formed. That is where the person you want to become is created. A lot of people wait for the perfect moment to start. They say, I'll begin when I feel motivated. But if you wait for motivation to carry you, you will spend your whole life waiting. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired. Discipline doesn't care if you're stressed. Discipline doesn't care if you had a bad day. Discipline simply says, get up and do it anyway. And that right there separates the dreamers from the doers. The truth is, consistency is how you earn your results. You don't get in shape from one workout. You don't become wealthy from one smart decision. You don't build a business from one good idea. You don't transform your life from one burst of motivation. You do it from repeated action, daily effort, and a commitment to yourself that says, I'm not giving up. The compound effect of small actions done consistently is far more powerful than rare moments of intensity. But here's where most people stumble. They expect progress to be fast. They expect the results to show up right away. And when they don't, they quit. They think the effort isn't working. They think the grind isn't paying off. What they don't understand is that consistency works in silence. Discipline works behind the scenes. You may not see the growth on day one, week one, or even month one, but trust me, it's happening. Your habits are shaping you. Your mind is strengthening. Your routines are building the foundation for your future. Every successful person has had days where they didn't feel like doing anything, days where the world felt heavy, days where everything in them screamed to give up. But they didn't listen to the feeling. They listened to the commitment. They didn't focus on the emotion. They focused on the mission. That's discipline. That's consistency. That's what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Motivation may inspire you to start, but discipline is what keeps you going. Motivation might make you feel good, but discipline makes you better. Motivation is a spark, but consistency is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark dies. And let me tell you something important. Nobody is naturally disciplined. Discipline is trained. Discipline is built. Discipline is grown. You become disciplined by doing what you need to do before you are comfortable doing it. People always ask me, Steve, how do I stay motivated? And I tell them, stop trying to stay motivated and start training your discipline. Because when your discipline is strong, you don't need motivation. You don't need inspiration. You don't need the perfect mood. You just get up and execute because you've built the strength to do it. You've created habits that no longer negotiate with excuses. Consistency also requires patience. You have to understand that results are not immediate, success is not instant, and transformation takes time. But when you stay consistent, when you wake up every day and put in the work, even the small work, you create momentum. And momentum is powerful. It makes your progress smoother, your habits stronger, your confidence higher, and your results faster. And this is the part many people never grasp. Your future depends on the things you repeatedly do, not the things you occasionally do. Occasional effort brings occasional progress. Consistent effort brings consistent progress. And disciplined effort brings breakthroughs. Think about the person you want to become. Think about the life you want to live. Think about the dreams you keep inside your mind. None of that is out of reach, but it is out of reach for the undisciplined version of you, that dream version of yourself, that future, that success. It requires structure. It requires sacrifice. It requires routines, habits, and decisions that align with where you're going, not where you've been. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be fast. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be consistent. You just have to show up. You just have to keep moving. And one day you will look back and realize that discipline built the life you prayed for. Ladies and gentlemen, listen closely, because this truth right here has the power to shift the entire direction of your life. If you don't move, God can't guide you. You cannot stay still, stay stuck, stay scared, stay comfortable, and expect your life to change. Progress requires action, real action, consistent action, bold action, not wishes, not dreams, not intentions, not prayers alone. You can pray for direction every day, but you cannot receive guidance for a journey you refuse to take. God cannot steer you if you're parked. He needs you in motion. He needs you moving your feet, taking steps, making decisions, trying, failing, learning, growing. Most people don't stay stuck because they lack ability. They stay stuck because they lack movement. They're waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the perfect plan, waiting for everything to make sense. But let me tell you something life-changing. Clarity comes from motion, not from waiting. You find your path by walking it, not by thinking about it. God shows you the next step when you have the courage to take the first one. Fear stops more people than failure ever will. People are so afraid to make the wrong move that they make no move at all. They sit there, frozen, analyzing, worrying, hesitating, doubting themselves into paralysis. Let me make this plain. You will never know the full plan. You will never know every detail. You will never feel 100% ready, and you are not supposed to. Faith isn't about knowing. Faith is about trusting. Faith is stepping even when you can't see the staircase. Faith is moving even when the destination is unclear. Faith is believing that once you move, God will step in and guide your steps. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who waited for the perfect conditions. They moved in imperfect conditions. They took risks. They made mistakes. They figured things out along the way. That's how progress works. You don't become great by thinking. You become great by doing. You don't learn by sitting still. You learn by stepping into the unknown with courage. You discover your strength by being tested. You discover your power by being challenged. You discover your purpose by walking toward it, not hiding from it. Let me tell you something real. God is not going to drop your destiny into your lap while you sit back doing nothing. He's not going to magically hand you the dream while you sit in fear. He's not going to force you to grow. He's not going to push you into the next chapter. He will open doors, yes. He will create opportunities, yes. He will put the right people in your path, yes. But he will not walk the path for you. That part is on you. You've got to show him you're serious. You've got to show him you're ready. You've got to show him that you trust him enough to move. Think about all the moments in your life when you finally took action. Think about what happened afterward. Doors opened, things shifted, ideas came, people showed up. That wasn't an accident. That was guidance. That was divine direction. But notice something, none of it happened until you move first. God responds to movement. He blesses effort. He rewards action. You've got to put something on the table for him to multiply. Some of you are praying for bigger blessings, but you're living with small effort. You're praying for new opportunities, but you're stuck in old habits. You're praying for a different life, but you refuse to take different steps. Prayer without action is just hope. And hope is beautiful, but hope alone won't build your future. God wants to partner with you, not carry you. He wants you to step so he can guide. He wants you to act so he can direct. He wants you to try so he can strengthen, but he can't guide what won't move. Movement creates momentum. Momentum creates progress. Progress creates confidence. Confidence creates transformation. But it all starts with that first step, the one you've been avoiding, the one you've been scared, a one you've been overthinking for years. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need a big leap. You don't need to know the whole picture. You just need to move. Even if the step is small, even if it's shaky, even if it's uncertain, God doesn't need perfection. He needs participation. Life will never change until you change your approach. Stop waiting for signs. Stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for conditions to be perfect. Stop waiting for the fear to disappear. You must learn to move with fear, not wait for fear to leave. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite it. And when you take that step, something powerful happens. Fear loses its hold, doubt loses its power, and your future starts to unfold. Let me tell you something else. You don't have to see the finish line to start the race. You don't have to know the whole story to turn the page. You don't have to understand everything to take the next step. Growth comes from movement. Confidence comes from movement. Success comes from movement. God's guidance comes from movement. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the step you keep refusing to take. This is the moment you stop sitting and start stepping. This is the moment you stop waiting and start walking. This is the moment you stop praying for a sign and become the sign. Move your feet, move your mind, move your habits, move your life. Because once you move, God will meet you where you are and guide you where you're meant to be.